In a previous recording I used, to work out the angle in the middle of this, I used arc length was equal to x divided by 360 times pi times d. Now there is another way that you can do this, so your teacher might have shown you this way, and it's a ratio. You can do it as arc length divided by the circumference of the circle is equal to x divided by 360. Now both of them are fractions of what you've got in the circle, so that's part of the arc and that's the whole circumference, so that's a bit of the arc out of the whole thing and that's a bit of the angle out of the whole thing. So you can use this as well. Right, now arc length we know, so arc length is 31.5, the circumference of a circle is pi times d, which is 3.14, multiplied by the diameter of this circle is 12.8. Now that's equal to the angle we're looking for divided by 360. Now if I want to find this angle x, then the thing that I want to get rid of is this divide by 360. So if I multiply two sides by 360, I get 31.5 multiplied by 360. The bit at the bottom stayed the same, 3.14 multiplied by 12.8, and that would give me the value for x. When you put all of that into your calculator, you get x is equal to 282 degrees. So another way of doing that question, so you do which way suits you best. This type of question looks difficult. All it's doing is it's applying your knowledge of trig equations and substituting into a formula. So although it looks difficult and although it looks as though it's something you might not have seen, then all you do is you read the question and you do your substitution first and you take it from there. So it says a wind turbine has 3 blades as shown. The height h meters of the tip of the blade above the ground in each rotation is given by, so the height is 40 plus 23 times cos x. Now it tells us x is the angle blade A has turned clockwise from its vertical position. First thing we've got to do is we've got to calculate the height of the tip of blade A after it is turned to an angle of 60 degrees. Now all that's asking me to do is to stick 60 degrees into that formula. So we've got h as 40 plus 23 times cos x. Now they're telling me that x is 60 degrees. So with your calculator you put all of that in, so you've got 40 plus 23 times cos 60. Now that gives me 40 plus 23 times cos 60 is a half, or 0.5. Multiply that out and you get 40 plus, and we want a half of 23, which is 11.5, add them together and we get 51.5 meters. So although that looked complicated, it's not. It's a straightforward question where you just substitute in your angle. Now this part here, it's also only for 1 mark. It says find the minimum height of the tip of the blade above the ground. Now what we've got is we've got to think about what this formula is. So h is equal to 40 and the formula is plus 23 cos x. Now this is where you're applying your knowledge of the cos graph. The biggest value a cos graph can have is 1 and the smallest value is minus 1. So if I want to find the minimum height, what I want to do is I want to use cos x equal to minus 1. That's the smallest value it can have. So if I substitute that in, I get 40 plus 23 times minus 1, which is 40 take away 23, which is equal to 17 meters. Now if I asked you the maximum height, then the biggest value that cos x can have is 1 and you would substitute in 1. Now there is another case where you've got to be careful. If that is negative, then you would want to make this one negative to get your maximum value, but I'll talk more about that in a later video. Next one, part C. It says calculate the values of x for which the tip of the blade is 61 meters above the ground. Now this piece of information is they're telling me that h is equal to 61 meters. Now this question is worth 4 marks. It's more involved in it. First thing you've got to do is you've got to do your substitution, and once you've done that, all you're doing then is basically you're doing a trig equation. It might have more parts in it, but that is really the knowledge and what you've been taught in class is how to solve a trig equation. So go back to the formula. H was equal to 40 plus 23 cos x. Now put in what we know. So H was 61, so H is 61, and that's equal to 40 plus this 23 cos x. Now you want to work out what cos x is, and then we can deal with it from there. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of that 40, so take 40 away from both sides. So when I take 40 away from both sides, I get 21 is equal to 23 cos x. Now I'm going to read it round the other way, so 23 cos x is equal to 21. Now it's starting to look like my trig equations. The only thing I've got to do is now divide by that 23. So cos x is 21 over 23. Now you have seen trig equations like that before, so you were applying a wee bit of knowledge in problem solving here. It's the last question in your paper. You've got to be able to think things through. So we're back to what you've done before. So you want to work out your acute angle, which is cos to the minus 1, or shift cos in your calculator, of 21 over 23. Now we'll round that to 1 decimal place. So to 1 decimal place, that is 24.1 degrees. Now the next thing you're doing is you're looking at your cast diagram to get your answers. And if you look back at the question, it does say calculate the values of x. So there's more than one answer. So your cast diagram is like that. And we want to know where cos is positive. That was positive, so where's cos positive? They're all positive in there, and cos is positive in there. So I've got an answer in quadrant 1, and I've got an answer in quadrant 4. So in quadrant 1, it is just the acute angle. It's the one that comes off your calculator. Right? Sometimes your teacher might call that the calculator answer. So it's 24.1 degrees. In this one, in quadrant 4, it is 360 minus the acute angle. So it's minus 24.1 degrees. And when you take your 24.1 away from 360, you get 335.9 degrees. So summarise your answers. So x would be equal to the angle that the blade would turn round, and the first angle was 24.1 degree, and the next one was 335.9. Double underline your answers.